so naughty. Trying.
Moments like these are the ultimate adrenaline rush for wildlife photographers, and they happen far more often than most of us realize. From bears blocking cave exits to lions snatching cameras, these face-to-face encounters can be as dangerous as they are thrilling. Ready for tales of endearing wildlife surprises? Let's jump right in. Close encounter with a bear in a cave. In one of the most jaw-dropping encounters caught on camera, a cameraman is nestled inside a small cave he believes is safe. He's scanning the surroundings, completely unaware that something is moving at the entrance. Slowly turning around, he spots a bear looming at the threshold. Panic floods him. What do you do when there's no way out? Yet, rather than behaving aggressively, the bear ambles closer, sniffing his gear in curious confusion. The photographer dares not move. Fear and awe paralyze him in equal measure. As if the situation weren't surreal enough, another bear appears at the entrance. This is no ordinary hideout. Turns out these bears dug this cave themselves, and they're not hostile at all. Polar bear attempts to break in. Imagine being stalked by one of the Arctic's most formidable predators. That's exactly what happened to one wildlife cameraman who set up a protective metal enclosure near a frozen hunting ground. At first, all was still, a stark, icy panorama with no visible life. Suddenly, a massive polar bear emerged, drawn by the man's scent. Step by step, it approached the cage, testing every corner for a potential opening.
She's feeling pressure there, she can actually feel that.
Inside, the cameraman filmed with trembling hands. Each clang of steel felt like it might be the barrier's final strain. With powerful jaws, the bear scraped and bit at the metal, determined to break through. Then, just as quickly as it arrived, the bear lost interest and wandered off. The encounter left the cameraman shaken, but alive. Meerkats climbing all over a photographer.
I've been lucky enough to film with elephants, and none of them have ever sat on my head.
Wild meerkats are typically cautious, but in a research area where they're habituated to human presence, some have become irresistibly curious. One man, lying on the sun-baked earth, quickly discovered that these tiny creatures saw him not as a threat, but as an opportunity for high-ground surveillance. One meerkat scampered onto his back, then another hopped onto his shoulder. Before he knew it, several had taken turns using his head and backpack as personal lookout posts. They chittered and peeped, scanning for danger or potential prey. Meanwhile, the photographer did his best to remain motionless, snapping pictures of this comedic pile-on. Cameraman smacked by an angry sheep. In a humorous yet painful clip, a cameraman at an animal park gets a little too close to a formidable Cameroonian sheep named Cecil. Initially appearing indifferent, Cecil suddenly charges, ramming his head straight into the unsuspecting man's groin. The force drops the cameraman to the ground, bringing filming to an abrupt halt. While the clip only lasts a few seconds, it offers a memorable and wince-inducing reminder that even smaller livestock can pack a serious punch. Lion sniffs a cameraman's crotch. Tension peaked when a wildlife photographer, lying low to capture a pride of lions, noticed one lioness break away. With eerie stealth, she approached until her hot breath brushed his skin. A single movement could have triggered disaster. In gripping footage, She examines him curiously, drawn by his scent, shape, or the click of his camera. She paused at his midsection, prompting a stifled gasp from onlookers. Frozen, the photographer kept calm, willing himself invisible. At last, the lioness lost interest and rejoined the pride. The heart-stopping moment captured on video shows just how thin the line is between awe and peril. Humpback whale saves diver.
When one of them looked up at me and just started charging towards me.
In tropical waters off the Cook Islands, a marine researcher had a life-altering underwater encounter. While filming humpback whales, she noticed one acting oddly, nudging her, corralling her with its massive fins, even lifting her out of the water. At first, she feared the whale might be aggressive or simply playing too rough. Then she spotted the real threat, a sizable tiger shark lurking nearby, ready to investigate. The whale's protective behavior suddenly made sense. Each gentle yet firm push was designed to keep her close, out of reach of the prowling predator. After a tense few minutes, the shark disappeared, and the whale eased off as if satisfied she was safe. Elk headbutts a photographer. Wild encounters aren't limited to exotic predators. In the Great Smoky Mountains, one intrepid photographer got far closer to a bull elk than he ever intended. He was quietly snapping photos from a roadside when the massive elk took notice. At first, it seemed merely curious, sniffing around the man's camera equipment. But that curiosity turned to assertiveness. Lowering its head, the elk began to push and butt him with its antlers. The photographer stayed perfectly still, hoping not to escalate the situation. Despite his best efforts, the elk kept at it, prodding him repeatedly. This face-off went on for agonizing minutes until a park ranger intervened. Though no serious injuries occurred, the encounter demonstrated that even seemingly docile herbivores can become dangerously territorial. Lioness snatches a fallen camera. This photographer's nightmare turned into her best story when her expensive camera tumbled off a safari vehicle right near a pride of lions. Before she could react, a curious lioness approached. Heart-pounding, she watched as the big cat clamped the lens in her jaws. With lions' crushing bite force, it was painful to watch her prized gear become a chew toy. Soon, playful cubs joined in, batting the strap and nibbling the lens hood. Eventually bored, the lions wandered off. Miraculously, the camera survived, dented, tooth-marked, but still working. Steve and the wolves. Steve, a seasoned wildlife caretaker with years of experience, found himself in an extraordinary situation when he reunited with a pack of wolves he'd helped raise in a remote sanctuary.
Wolves have a bite twice as strong as our German Shepherd police dog.
The video, easily found on YouTube, shows him entering a large fenced clearing where the wolves roam. At first, they approach with measured curiosity, tall ears perked, noses testing the air. But as soon as they recognize Steve's scent, their caution melts away. One by one, the wolves trot closer, tails swishing in wide arcs of excitement. Within seconds, he's surrounded by gentle nuzzles and playful nips. Rather than the menacing howls one might expect, there's a sense of family. Steve kneels down, calmly letting them sniff and rub against him, embodying a profound trust forged through patience, respect, and daily care. Gorillas interacting with a cameraman. In a remarkable encounter captured on film within a Ugandan national park, a group of gorillas ventured near a secluded spot where a photographer was quietly waiting. The dense foliage formed a perfect hideout, yet the gorillas discovered him with ease. Instead of reacting aggressively, they showed only curiosity, especially the younger members of the troop. 3 baby gorillas approached and plopped themselves beside him, as if he were part of their family. The startled photographer remained still, allowing the playful juveniles to poke at his clothes and camera bag. Despite their immense strength, these gorillas displayed a surprisingly gentle nature. This heartwarming scene underscored the idea that sometimes wildlife approaches with interest rather than hostility. Bear encounter by the river. While filming brown bears at McNeil River in Alaska, Drew Hamilton captured a surreal moment when one sizable bear wandered up and casually sat just a few feet away from him. Far from hostile, the bear appeared content to gaze peacefully at the water, where salmon were plentiful. Rather than panic, Drew kept his cool, marveling at the calm presence of this apex predator. This brief but unforgettable scene highlighted a rare harmony between human and bear in the wild. In Hokkaido, Japan, a mother bear, accompanied by her cub, charged at a vehicle on a forest road, smashing the windshield and causing significant damage. The occupants were unharmed, but the incident underscores the dangers of encountering bears in the wild, especially when cubs are involved. Bear attacks, hunter who accidentally shoots himself. In one of the most dramatic and bizarre survival stories to ever come out of the Alaskan wilderness, Tyler Johnson found himself face to face with a brown bear, and things went from bad to worse in a matter of seconds. The event occurred in the dense backcountry of Alaska while Tyler was out hiking with his father, deep in bear territory where encounters are not uncommon but are always dangerous. Tyler and his father were navigating through thick forest when they stumbled upon a brown bear. The bear wasn't bluffing, and it wasn't curious. It charged without hesitation. In the split-second chaos of trying to protect himself, Tyler reached for his pistol and attempted to fire, only to accidentally shoot himself in the leg. The bullet ripped through his thigh, leaving him seriously wounded before the bear even made contact. Despite the gunshot wound, the bear still attacked. Tyler was mauled, sustaining deep gashes, claw wounds, and a massive loss of blood. His father managed to help scare the bear away during the attack, possibly by yelling or discharging his own weapon. But by then, Tyler had already been badly injured, not just by the bear, but by his own firearm. And yet what happened next stunned everyone. Bleeding, barely mobile, and alone for a moment while his father searched for help, Tyler reached for his phone and started filming. In the short but powerful clip, you can see his pant legs soaked in blood, his face pale and calm. He looks directly into the camera and says,
"I did shoot myself in the leg when I was falling backwards."
He then pans the camera down to show the gunshot wound, an unintentional, yet perfectly composed survival vlog. His composure is what truly makes this video stand out. No screaming, no panic, just focused survival instinct and an eerie level of calm under pressure. You can hear him controlling his breathing as he begins to apply a tourniquet, stabilizing himself while awaiting emergency response. The video quickly went viral. Viewers and survival experts alike were blown away by his clarity in the moment. Some even called it one of the most metal bear attack clips of all time. But it also sparked conversations about firearm safety in high-stress wildlife encounters and the importance of having proper first aid training in remote regions. Cheetah leaps into a safari jeep. A group on spring break in Tanzania was soaking up the sun and spotting wildlife when a few cheetahs casually approached their open-top jeep, and one even hopped inside. Surprised but calm, They followed their guide's quiet instruction. Don't move. The cheetahs sniffed around, curious but relaxed, checking out the cushions and passengers. After a few tense but peaceful minutes, they slipped away as smoothly as they came. Alaska, USA.
No closer.
There are few places on Earth where you can witness grizzlies in their natural element like Katmai National Park in Alaska. Each summer, photographers and filmmakers gather along the Brooks River to capture the iconic sight of massive brown bears fishing for salmon.
No.
But in one unforgettable moment caught on camera, that serene image turned into sheer chaos. A professional wildlife photographer was set up along the riverbank, his camera rolling, when one of the nearby grizzlies suddenly locked eyes with him. Without warning, the bear broke into a full charge. You can see it on the video. The bear crosses a shallow part of the river, water flying in every direction, moving at an unbelievable speed straight toward the photographer. And what does the guy do? Nothing. He stands his ground. No bear spray, just stillness. Right before impact, the bear swerves, passing by him with a deafening huff. It wasn't a bluff, it was a message. The bear knew exactly how close it could get. Experts later explained this behavior as a dominance display, not an actual attack. But when a 1,000-pound animal runs at you like that, those lines blur very quickly. What makes this incident so haunting is the silence. There's no chaos, just the raw, primal force of nature putting someone in their place. The video has since been featured in dozens of wildlife safety courses and news segments. A kangaroo handshake. In a widely shared video from Australia's capital city, a distressed kangaroo was spotted struggling in the chilly waters of Lake Burley-Griffin. Concerned passers-by rushed over, carefully guiding the frightened marsupial back onto solid ground. Once safe, the shivering kangaroo seemed to recognize its rescuer's kindness. Lifting a paw and shaking hands as if to thank them. The brief, tender moment caught on camera quickly went viral, warming hearts around the world with its touching display of interspecies gratitude. You're skiing down a slope, enjoying the cold air and fresh powder, and behind you, a bear is full-on sprinting to catch you. That's exactly what happened to a 20-year-old skier in Predeal, Romania, a resort town in the Carpathian Mountains, where a massive brown bear chased him down a popular ski run, and the entire terrifying moment was caught on camera. Later reports confirmed this wasn't the bear's first appearance on the slopes. In fact, local wildlife officials had received multiple reports of the same bear approaching humans during ski season. No one was harmed, but authorities had to tranquilize and relocate the animal. What made this encounter so chilling was the sheer normalcy of it. This wasn't deep in the forest. It was on a groomed, tourist-packed ski run. Had the skier fallen or stopped to check his phone, this story could have ended very differently. The video went viral across Europe, with some calling it the bear ski chase of the decade. A marmot's lens lick. High in the mountains, a camera left unattended drew an unexpected visitor, a curious marmot. The usually shy creature waddled up and began licking the lens, as if tasting a salt block. It left behind a trail of foggy smudges before ambling off, completely unfazed. The quirky moment, caught on video, quickly charmed the internet, proof that even the tiniest stars can steal the show. Husky meets a newborn baby. Domestic animals can be unpredictable, especially with something as fragile as a newborn child. But in one viral YouTube clip, a husky demonstrates uncanny gentleness, as though it understands the baby's vulnerability.
Good boy, sit.
Oh, go next side then.
You have to hold his head. Good boy, you happy?
The parents carefully place the bundled infant near the dog, filming with bated breath. The husky, known for its high energy, inches closer, ears perked, tail swishing softly. Rather than bounce around, it lowers its head and sniffs the baby's tiny feet. Then it settles next to the child, calm and steady, as if standing guard. For onlookers, it's a heartwarming blend of tension and relief. A terrifying moment was caught on video when a cyclist, riding through the woods with a GoPro camera, had a close encounter with a massive grizzly bear. As the bear appeared out of nowhere, it charged toward the cyclist, making the rider's heart race with fear. The cyclist, gripped by terror, pedaled faster than ever before, desperately trying to outrun the massive predator. The bear, with its keen sense of smell, had been tracking the cyclist's scent and quickly closed the distance. Grizzly bears are incredibly strong, and their sense of smell is about 7 times better than a bloodhound's. They can detect scents from miles away and often approach silently, making them even more dangerous. But as the rider sped up, the bear began to chase, intent on making a catch. Just as the bear closed in, gunshots rang out in the distance. A group of nearby hunters heard the commotion and rushed to help. Their shots scared the bear away, giving the cyclist enough time to escape. Though shaken, the rider was grateful for the hunters' timely intervention, knowing that without their help, the bear might have been much closer to catching him. Bear attacks are a chilling reminder of how unpredictable nature can be. Even with animals we often admire from a distance, these terrifying encounters show just how easily a peaceful moment can turn into a life-threatening situation. Whether it's a bear defending its territory, protecting its cubs, or being triggered by the wrong movement, the raw power of these creatures is something that must never be underestimated. From hikers to trainers, no one is truly safe when in the presence of a bear, and each encounter serves as a brutal lesson in respect for the wild. Always stay aware, and remember, in the wilderness, you're never in control.
Okay, he's following you, babe.
Imagine hiking peacefully when suddenly a massive grizzly bear charges down the trail towards you. This exact scenario unfolded for a hiker, and the entire incident was captured on video.
Hey!
The bear's speed and determination were terrifying,
Don't run!
and the hiker's reaction was nothing short of miraculous.
Griffin, walk faster, please. Hey, bear!
Joe Rogan discussed this harrowing encounter, expressing sheer disbelief at the bear's aggression.
Grizzly bear, full clip towards you. And they're going, hey bear, stop. You could feel the tension as this bear starts getting closer.
He wanted to see a bear.
Wild animals will never cease to amaze and astonish us, and these stories prove that photographers often stand on the razor's edge between danger and wonder. Thank you for joining us on this thrilling journey.